From your first day at Agnes Scott, you're surrounded by the beauty of the campus and 12 decades of values and traditions. One important value is honor. It's the backbone of the Agnes Scott experience from day one.
The first day that you got to Agnes Scott, you signed the honor code, and it really carries on with you, not just during the 4 years at Agnes Scott, but once you leave this campus. I went on to get my law degree, and after that I got another degree in taxation, and I remember feeling as though I carried that honor code with me to 2 other schools, and I remember thinking, if you don't keep your integrity and your honesty, you're really doing nothing but cheating yourself, and I really do, to this day, still live by that honor code.
Traditions connect us to all the Scotties who came before us and to all who will come after us, creating bonds between generations. For example, the Hub Sing, gathering round the piano to sing college songs, such as God of the Marching Centuries.
I still hear that today, and it just does something to me.
Of course, there are also other, less reverent songs.
Beer, beer, beer for old Agnes Scott. You bring the whiskey and I'll bring the scotch. Send a sophomore out for gin and don't let a sober senior in. We never stumble, we never fall. We sober up on great alcohol. And when we yell like hell for the glory of Agnes Scott. Hey!
Oh, my great Aunt Hannah.
Then there's Black Cat. From its humble origins in 1915, it has grown into an occasion for displays of mischief, feistiness, and good-natured fun.
My class, we did a few really fun pranks. We were really good at that. I think that was our niche. We forked the quad one year, and one year we also moved Dean Hudson's office out onto the quad. The entire setup. We moved out the carpet and everything, the rug and all, and she conducted business the next day out on the quad.
Black Cat was so entirely different in 1950. Well, 47 was the year that I arrived on the campus. It was one night of skits and songs between the freshman and the sophomore, but it was just the one night.
Did you have a dance?
Dance? No. You know, it was all over by, I guess, 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
The ring ceremony is one of the richest traditions at Agnes Scott. The distinctive onyx ring means it's always easy to spot a Scottie, wherever that might be.
I went to Cannes. I was studying abroad in France. I was standing on a street and trying to figure out like the bus route or whatever, and I didn't know a soul. And then all of a sudden, I hear just in plain English, "Laura Hawk, what are you doing here?" I turned around, it was a classmate of mine who was studying in northern France, and she said, "I thought it was you when I saw your ponytail, but I knew it was you when I saw your ring."
Scotties are often called the Black Ring Mafia, but few know the origins of the name.
The Black Ring Mafia story actually started with me and Susan Thomas from the class of 1966. We were changing committee chairs at my church one time, and this man was talking to the incoming chair, and he looked over at me and Kathy Ash, and he said, "And if you get 2 women with those black rings, just find out what they want to do, because that will happen whether you plan it or not." So I was telling this story to Susan a day or 2 later, and Susan said, "Oh, the Black Ring Mafia." And I keep hearing about the Black Ring Mafia all the time. Yes. But that's how it started.
You should be so proud.
For many of us, the friendships we make at Agnes Scott don't just last till graduation. They last a lifetime.
Honestly, there is something magic that happens at, I think, mainly women's colleges, and particularly at Agnes Scott, in terms of friendships.
Former Dean of Students Gay Pardue Hudson and Anne Glendenning, both from the class of 1968, have been best friends for as long as they can remember. So long that they're not sure exactly how they met, but Gay will never forget the first time she saw Anne.
The first time I ever knew who she was, our first year, is Anne was a very good swimmer, and is still a very good swimmer. And they had this contest of who could swim underwater the longest. And so Anne kept, the whole student body was there, and Anne kept going and going. I thought, boy, this woman's like a porpoise. And then all of a sudden, the chair of the PE department jumps in and saves her because she had passed out. But I won. But she won. So she is very focused, and but that was the first time I ever knew who she was.
After college, we roomed together a little bit. We both got married. We started careers. Gay started having babies. I started a PhD program. There's just a lot of other things. We moved away, came back. A lot of things kept us from frequent communication. But when we did get together or talked, it was immediate. It was like there was no catching up. It was just immediate.
It was a little bit difficult, but we were always there for each other in the important things.
We make a point of talking several times a week and trying to have dinner
Once a month.
Once a month at least. And now, since we've both retired, a lot more often than that.
Lifelong friendships are one thing, but Giselle and her friends take the concept of sisterhood to a whole new level.
We have a 1 mile rule, and we are all living currently within about a mile away from each other. And we have breakfast every morning.
Oh my goodness. Oh my word.
And quite frankly, we talk about retiring. Like the Golden Girls.
Traditions will be a big part of your Agnes Scott experience, from the honor code signing ceremony to hub sings, from your very first black cat to when you finally get your black ring of power. They will be a huge part of your journey and of who you will become. They'll connect you to your classmates and also to Agnes Scott alumni all across the generations and around the world. Combine these traditions with lifelong friendships, and you'll see what a very special place Agnes Scott will be for you.